Okay, today we're pulling back the curtain on one of the biggest hurdles in UK high school, the GCSE maths exam. And we're not just looking at any paper, we're diving into the non-calculator paper. You know, the one that can make even the most confident student a little nervous.
Yep, that's right. For an hour and a half, it's just you, a pen, and whatever you can remember. There's no safety net, no button you can press to check your work. This is all about pure, unadulterated mathematical thinking. So let's get into it. Let's set the stage. Because with this exam, the stakes are pretty high, and the rules of the game, they're crystal clear.
So here's the breakdown. It's the higher tier, no calculator allowed. You've got 90 minutes on the clock to rack up 80 possible marks. But, you see that last instruction? The one they put in bold? You must show all your working. Now that isn't just a friendly suggestion. As you're about to see that little sentence, well, it's everything.
So what exactly are they going to throw at you in those 90 minutes? The short answer is, well, pretty much everything. Let's take a quick whirlwind tour of what you could be up against.
One moment, you're knee-deep in geometry, trying to figure out the angles of a pentagon, which also, by the way, has a bit of algebra thrown in for good measure.
Then you flip the page, and suddenly you've got to dig deep and remember all those circle theorems to solve a tricky-looking diagram like this one.
And then, bam, you're launched into 3 dimensions, trying to visualize and calculate an angle inside a cuboid. We're talking 3D trig here.
Just when you think you can catch a breath, you're hit with a hefty 5-mark question on quadratic inequalities. It's this incredible range of topics that really makes this paper such a massive challenge.
So with a challenge like that, how on earth do you win? Well, the secret isn't just about knowing the math. It's about understanding how the people marking your paper think.
You see, for every exam paper, there's a kind of secret rule book called the mark scheme. Now, this isn't just a list of the right answers. Oh no, it's the examiner's playbook. It tells them exactly what to look for and where to give out points. If you can understand this, you can unlock a ton of marks.
Let's crack the code. These little letters are the hidden language of the exam. The M and P marks are all about your method and your process. They're for showing you know how to attack the problem. The A marks are for accuracy, but here's the catch. You usually can't get them without showing a correct method first. And CAO? That stands for correct answer only. It's brutal, no partial credit there.
Okay, enough theory. Let's actually put this into practice. We're going to take a real question apart, piece by piece, and see exactly where you earn those precious points. Remember our friend, the pentagon problem? It's worth a solid 4 marks. So the real question isn't just what's the answer, it's how do you make absolutely sure you walk away with all 4 of those marks? It's about way more than just writing down the final number.
A perfect answer is like a good story. It has a clear beginning, middle, and end. First, you have to find the total sum of the angles. Second, you use that to build yourself an equation. Third, you get to work solving for x. And finally, you use that value of x to figure out the actual angle they asked for. Let's see how the marks map onto that journey. Check this out. Your very first mark, a P1 or process mark, comes from just this one single calculation. Show them you know the formula for the interior angles, get to 540, and bam! You're already 25% of the way there. You haven't even touched the other numbers in the diagram yet. All right, next P1 mark. This one's for taking that 540 and setting up the full equation. By doing this, you're showing the next logical step, that all those separate angles have to add up to the total. And just like that, you're halfway to full marks, and you still haven't even had to solve for x. Now we get to the algebra. The third P1 mark is for the process of solving for x. Show how you simplify it all down, do the subtraction, do the division, and find that x is 35. That whole process gets you to 3 out of 4 marks, all for just showing a clear, logical method.
And here it is, the final point. The A1, the accuracy mark. This is the cherry on top. It's for taking your value of x and getting the final answer, 140 degrees, completely right. But you can see how it's built on the foundation of all that work you showed before.
And here's the most important takeaway. Let's say you rushed at the end, made a silly mistake, and got the final answer wrong. If you showed all that other working, you could have still walked away with 3 out of the 4 marks. That, right there, is the power of showing your work.
You know, all of this brings us to a much bigger idea, the real lesson that's kind of hidden inside this whole exam.
Remember that instruction from the very front of the paper? You must show all your working. It's not just some boring rule they make you follow. It's because this test isn't a magic show. They don't want answers to just appear out of nowhere.
What this exam is really testing is your ability to build a logical case, to communicate a process from a starting point to a conclusion. It's about showing the how and the why, not just the what. And honestly, that skill is useful way beyond any math class.
So, let me leave you with this one final thought. In a world that's often obsessed with just the final result, what if the most valuable lesson we learn from any challenge, whether it's this exam or, a huge project at work, is simply learning how to show our work clearly and logically? What if that's the real skill we're meant to master?